Thank you for joining me today for HandsOn Connect University. HandsOn Connect Cloud Solutions is excited to be able to provide you any and all of the digital solutions you need, whether it's our flagship volunteer management product, HandsOn Connect, additional insights and training with our other Connect University sessions, learning about additional tools through our Connect Exchange series, Salesforce implementation and configuration, custom-built applications, or our stellar support, including virtual administration. We've got you covered. To tell you about our leadership team here at HandsOn Connect Cloud Solutions. If you haven't met everyone yet, we hope that we'll see you at the National Conference on Volunteering and Service in Seattle in June, or Libby and Art and I will be at the Nonprofit Technology Network Conference in Washington, D.C. in March. So we'd love to buy you a cup of coffee and have a chat. I'm Melissa, and I'm glad to be here with you today. Our presentation is only 20 minutes long, so this will be quick and high level, but hopefully it will give you an opportunity to see a little bit of what our team has been working on. So first, I'd like to tell you just a little story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a programs director who sold her board of directors on investing in HandsOn Connect as a volunteer engagement tool. It was built on Salesforce.com and would be able to do amazing things like collect data and run reports and give them more information on volunteers and donors than they could ever hope to use. The programs director had big dreams. She was going to leverage technology to change the world for good. HandsOn Connect could do great things, and the power in Salesforce seemed unlimited. But alas, the programs director did not have the time or the support to become a Salesforce MVP. And even if she did, there was no funding in her organization to pay for hours and hours of customization by a developer to incorporate more features. She hoped and waited and waited and hoped, and suddenly there was the advanced registration system. It's actually comprised of several parts and functions that can benefit your organization in a lot of different ways. The basics that we will cover today are the advanced registration and sign-up process, the compliance module, and the unverified parental consent. So what is your goal with the volunteer registration system? Are there specific business requirements that you need to meet? Let's take a quick look and modifying the registration process itself. So, as you know, in HandsOn Connect, it's very simple to modify the volunteer registration form, change the fields that are visible or that are required to actually meet your best business practices. But with HandsOn Connect 3.0, that was where the magic ended until now. With the new advanced registration system, additional information that is required becomes part of the process of registering new volunteers. To give you an example, this simple form set up for a customer with a specific workflow in mind to add a donation request as well as an orientation video that could be watched. Check the box to say, yes, we watched the video, that is logged into their record and their registration is completed. You're probably already thinking of a lot of use cases. This particular workflow looks like this. There's a registration page, the volunteer completes the donation request, watches the video, and is sent to the success page. A different scenario might be a registration page that goes to a donation request, and you can add in all those pieces that are dependent on the answer of the volunteer. So yes, they want to make a donation, they make the donation, they go to the success page. The volunteer says no, they are not in a position to make a donation right now to be a volunteer. They can apply for a fee waiver, and you can use that branch logic to send your volunteers off in different directions, but so that everyone is successful and everyone comes to the success page at the end. Do you have an RSVP program? Maybe your registration would look more like this, and a volunteer would begin to register. The question would be asked if they're over 55. The answer is no. They would go to the donation request page, and they'd make a donation, go to the success page. If they are over 55, there would be some additional questions that might be asked, and then they would be sent to the donation request page. And perhaps they say no, they would prefer not to make a donation, but they would make a pledge, and then they would be sent to the success page. So you see there's a lot of flexibility in the advanced registration system on how and what you do with your volunteer experience as they register to become a volunteer on your site. This same sort of sign-up process can be applied to a volunteer event. Perhaps you have United Way's Day of Caring is always something that's an interesting use case where you need volunteers to say they're interested in participating, but you need to be sure you collect their t-shirt size and get their $5 donation to cover the cost of that t-shirt. That's an easy process to create within the advanced registration and sign-up system that is only applicable to those volunteers who are signing up for that specific event or that specific volunteer opportunity. Next, we want to talk just a little bit about the compliance module. And this was designed for specific business practices that require a high degree of commitment from the volunteer. So you start in the registration page, you have the advanced registration system that takes you to the success page, and you have a successful volunteer. With a compliance module, you need background checks or certifications or perhaps a copy of a driver's license or another document that the volunteer may not have as they sit down to register as a volunteer with your organization. So for the compliance module, these are things that possibly can't be done in one sitting. Here is a short, brief example of what the compliance module looks like in action in one specific use case. And the volunteer registers, they complete the registration form, and they are asked what sort of volunteer because there are different requirements based on the level of volunteering you want to do. Obviously, they have to complete some additional compliance verification. And because of the compliance module is set up to save and continue later, they can do the part that they can do now, successfully save that, go out, come back in to their account and complete additional pieces of it until all the pieces are done, and they can submit it for their completed registration form. To quickly run through the compliance module and look at the sorts of things that you can do that we just saw the little video. The registration page, the type of volunteering would base what the success page would be. The volunteer is actually registered, but they can't yet sign up for opportunities until they complete the additional compliance pieces of that module. So if you wanted anyone who worked with children to submit additional paperwork, perhaps a Department of Children's Services application, a background check, copies of an insurance card that they may have, anything that you need your volunteers to do in that regard. The compliance module works very simply to give them the opportunity to submit additional information and request that approval for volunteering. The last topic that we're going to cover today is a fairly quick one, but one that has been requested ever since this program's director was that eager young woman 7 years ago to be able to get an unverified parental consent. And this process, once again, is very simple, easy. A short video here just to show you how that looks in action for A young person under the age of 18 who is going in and creating a volunteer account, as soon as they put their birthday in and it shows that they are too young, it requests information on their parent's email account so that an email can go to the parent to request their approval for their minor to register as a volunteer with your organization. The parent gets the email. There is an opportunity for the parent to say yes or no. The youth gets an email that comes back to them that says their parent has either approved or denied their request to register with the site. Once that approval is in your system, the young person can then be eligible to sign up for volunteer opportunities. And there is a little bit longer video that is available that walks through some more of the steps on the unverified parental consent. So those are just 3 of the new options that are happening right now with HandsOn Connect 3.0. If you've already scheduled your migration, then we probably had some discussions about some of these parts and pieces. If you've scheduled your migration and you did not opt in to the advanced registration system, you can do that at any time you'd like. If you have not yet scheduled your migration to HandsOn Connect 3.0, all these wonderful new features are only available with the new HandsOn Connect 3.0. So I would love to have a conversation with you about when you'll be ready to migrate to the new system. Be sure to watch for this training to be on our webpage. Also on our YouTube channel. If you follow that, then you'll know as soon as this is available to share with your colleagues or your team. There are also webinars from the past that are on our YouTube page as well as our webpage. So be sure to check those out if you've missed them. We have more webinars coming up soon. Every Thursday we have Connect University at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Tuesdays there are off Connect Exchange. Next week is Click and Pledge on Tuesday at 12:30 Eastern Time, and they'll be talking about event planning with Click and Pledge. So be sure to join us then, and again next Thursday for Connect University. Would love to talk with you anytime. If you have questions, need additional information about the advanced registration system, we have open lab every day of the week. Drop by, join us, have a conversation with Jenny. Be sure to email me if I can help, or Art. Any of our team would be glad to talk with you. And we really want to know what you need in the advanced registration system. Don't forget the feature request in Zendesk. Be sure to visit Zendesk, see what your other colleagues are talking about and what they are looking forward to and hoping for in the next iteration of HandsOn Connect 3.0. Thank you again for joining us today.